Hi everyone, so I come with a heavy heart and I have been MIA because I had a family member pass away, my father-in-law, and it's been really hard the last few weeks. And not only that, but we did have to put my dog down when we got back from going to spend time with the family and be at his wake. So it's been really difficult. But in honor of my father-in-law, I wanted to create a nail set of all of his favorite things. And so I'm inserting a picture here of the nail set I drew out, and I'll go ahead and explain each one as I'm doing it. But I'm going to do a step-by-step process of how to put these Gel X nails on. So first I did make sure I had clean nails. There was no oil or anything like that on there. I used alcohol, isopropyl alcohol to scrub my nails, and now I'm going and priming them. So I went in with Model 1's primer and I put that all over my nails and the fake nails. And then to further etch and prime the nails, I go in with a tiny file and then I go and etch the inside so that they'll stick properly. And here's the primer that I'm putting on my nails. I had already placed them on the inside of the fake nails. I'm going in with the Model 1's nail glue, and I'm placing a little dollop inside the nail and then also a little bit on my nail. And something I've been doing and I've been trying to work with is the overlay method, so I'm not going as close to the cuticle. It's a little hard to see here, but I am pressing it kind of like at an angle and not getting all the way to the cuticle, letting that glue come up to my natural nail, and then flash curing that for about 30 seconds. And then I'm going to do this on the rest of the nails each step, and after that I will do a full cure for about 60 seconds. You want to make sure you're doing both a flash cure and a full cure. You want your glue to be fully cured on your nails. Okay, so this is about how they're looking. Now I'm going to go in and shape them, file them, and I do like to also file kind of like where that dip is, so there's going to be a little bit of space, and I just want to file that down so it's more flush with the nail bed. And yeah, and then I'm going to also file all over the nail and then shape them as well. Here I'm spraying isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm going to go in with my buffet brush and just kind of wipe away all the dust and grime and dirt to make sure they're nice and prepped to start the design. Something else I like to do as well is go in with the isopropyl alcohol right at the cuticle bed, and this also kind of helps like melt everything together, and then I go in and cure for 60 seconds, and it just kind of helps adhere everything really nice and flush as well. This is kind of the overlay method I was talking about. You go in with the base gel and you kind of go right flush where the nail bed is, and then you just go over all the nail. But on the thumb you can't really see much of a gap, but the other nails there's going to be a little bit more of a gap, and then that is kind of where you build that gel up so that it's an overlay method, so when they grow out they're not as noticeable. This is a trick that I have learned from a couple of nail artists, and I'm kind of playing around with it because I don't know, I kind of do this sometimes, and sometimes I just go I just adhere it all the way to the cuticle. So, you know, just trying new things out. Boo boo. The base gel also leaves a smooth surface for you to put on the nail polish, which is what I've moved on to. So I'm doing 3 white nails, a black nail, and a red nail. And here I didn't show the application of this first one, apologize about that, but here I'm going and cleaning up. And I do 2 coats of every single polish, of every single coat. polish, also from Beetles. Okay, now we're starting with the design, and my father-in-law absolutely loved cows. He not only loved cows in general, like as an animal, but he loved steak very much, and cheese and dairy. So basically loved cows as an animal, but also loved anything that you can get from a cow. So those were like his staples and what he liked to eat, and so I'm doing cow print to represent that. Love doing cow print. I feel like it's super easy, versatile, and it always looks good. And next, I'm moving on to a Hollywood film, like a movie film. So Wes really loved old movies. He loved black and white old movies. Those were his absolute favorite. And so I am doing kind of like a old Hollywood film roll. And if you're new to doing nails, I know it might seem counterintuitive to use a super long, skinny brush, but it is actually the easiest to work when you're doing long lines. So I go, once I've perfected the line and cleaned it up, and I flash cure it, and then I remembered I actually wanted to do a yellow aura to kind of signify like Hollywood, stars, Hollywood, yellow, black, old, you get it. Anywhoosies, I go with a matte, because matte top coat will help whenever you're doing like an aura. So I cured that for 30 seconds, and then I go in with a yellow polish and a sponge, and I start tapping it in the center, and then I kind of just like tap it out also so that it kind of melts all flush together. And then once I'm happy with the color payoff, I go and cure for about 30 seconds. I do like a flash cure, and then I just kind of keep building up that color, and so on and so forth. Next, to do the film part, you want to take a smaller liner brush to do any kind of like very tiny designs. A tiny brush is going to be better. So here I'm just doing the lines across, and yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Then I'm flash curing that. And then I did want to make the lines a little thicker because I was going to go back in with white polish to make that film, the camera film look. You'll see in just a little bit. But yeah, I just wanted to go and make the black lines just a little bit thicker, so that's kind of what I'm doing here. So now I'm taking another little tiny brush, and I'm doing little white squares all up the roll of film to make it look like an old Hollywood roll of film. did go add some rhinestone glue and some little rhinestone gems all around, and then I cure it and top coat it so that it is great and I don't have to mess with it or touch it again. The next nail I'm doing an 8-ball. Wes absolutely loved playing pool. It was one of our favorite things to do. When we'd go back to visit Dallas, my husband's family lives in Dallas, and we would go to the pool hall. It's like this little bar right next to their house and go play pool. I absolutely love playing pool. I grew up playing it with a close friend who had a table, and throughout my time in the Army, I played it a lot, so that was like a really fun thing that we all loved to do. And yeah, I will definitely miss playing pool with him. So here I'm just kind of adding some cute little pearls, and then I will go ahead and add the 8-ball in the center. I did go back later and I accidentally forgot to film it, but I did add some light blue to the center of the nail just to give it a little bit more character. But yeah, I added an 8-ball in the center, and I used Crazy Top thick gel, and I dunk the big charms in there. Here I'm going on the black nail. He also absolutely loved playing board games. They are a board game family, so during the holidays, we go and play a lot of games. And one thing that he absolutely loved doing was the Christmas extravaganza, and I'll absolutely miss that so much. He would always come up with these really quirky, fun, random games to play, and we each get prizes, and it was a really fun time. So here I'm doing the dice to represent the games that we would always play. And here I'm just adding some rhinestone sequins just to kind of give it a little more pizzazz. On the red nail, I wanted to add little lipsticks. He absolutely loved when women would get glam, which, most men prefer a natural looking woman or whatever, less makeup or whatever. But my father-in-law appreciated a glam girl. I absolutely love that because his mom, I didn't get to meet her. Her name is Gogo. She was always done up to the nines, and that's how I am. And so that's something that he would always compliment me on, and we'd always talk about, how Gogo, his mom, would get glam, and he just really appreciated it and loved it. And I don't know, it was just kind of a thing that he would tell Edwin, my husband, different things. And I don't know, he just you love a good man who can appreciate a good glam, So that was really cool. And these are representing glam, the lipstick, baby. Here I'm just top coating everything, making sure it's all going to stay in place. left hand is looking so far. And I'm going to move on now to my right hand. And I didn't show the application. I'm just going to go straight into the design, but it's exactly the same thing. And I did have a hard time with the right hand, so I forgot to film, or I guess I didn't get a film of the black nail, but basically I just drew a big heart in the center, and I'll come back to that one in a little bit. But here I'm just adding some pearls, and I did forget again that I wanted to go in with blue, and I was going to do a blue aura, but it was not coming out the way I wanted, even though I did the matte. So I ended up trying a different design, and it was just really random, just like basically put in a big circle in the front, in the middle, and then just went in with a little tool and kind of made it look like a marble effect. And here I'm putting the cross in the center because Wes was really into his faith with God, and he would read the Bible a lot. And so here I'm putting a cross to represent his faith, and I am using the crazy top again and adding some pearls just to add a little more pizzazz. And then on this nail, what I really wanted to do was make a book. So I know I'm jumping over here to the pinky. So on both the pinky and the ring, and the pointer finger, I wanted to do auras, a red aura and a yellow aura. Well, those didn't really work out. So what I decided to do instead, I did do the aura with the red, but I used blooming gel instead of the other technique that I did. And this one came out really cool. I actually think I'll forever, well, I shouldn't say forever, but I really do love the blooming gel technique for auras. I think they're really cool. And then the yellow I'll have to come back to because Boo Boo is a mess. But I did not get the me filming what I did with the pinky, but I just added a bunch of blue stars, and that's to represent the fact that he absolutely loved Texas, loved America. You know, he was really into American things, barbecue, all that stuff. So that's to represent his love for Texas and America. Now going back to this pointer finger, which was literally the bane of my existence. I tried so many times, boo-boo. I have been able to make cool charms from resin easily before. Like, if you've seen any of my other videos, I've been able to do cherries, bows, like cool things. For whatever reason, I could not do freaking two squares to make books. So I tried several times, and I majorly failed. And then I'll show you what I ended up doing later. But yeah, that's what happened with that. Like I said, here I am attempting to make a square, and it just did not work out. Moving to the thumb, I wanted to draw a car, but listen, boo-boo, I'm pretty new to doing nails, and my drawing skills are not super clutch. So I ended up just doing like a racing stripe and a black and white racing stripe at the tip of the nail, and then I had some really cool gear charms. They look like gears, you know, like in motors. So I figured that really fit. Wes absolutely loved working on old cars. He just loved old cars in general, and that is something that my husband Edwin and him did all the time. They loved Chevy. I mean, they love Chevy and whatever, the car thing, you know. So they love doing that together, and so that is what this nail symbolizes. Okay, and going back to finish this pointer finger, ay Dios mío. So I ended up just doing the blooming gel. I wanted a little cute yellow design. I wanted yellow in it. Okay, cool. Then I ended up cutting little pieces of paper / package from another random nail thing. So it's like little cardboard pieces, and I glued them on and adhered them to make it look like a book. Because one thing about Wes, he absolutely loved learning. His love of learning was just definitely passed down through his kids, and that is something he absolutely loved to do. And then the last thing I'm doing for the heart is to represent family, and I'm putting 5 diamond sequins to represent 4 of his kids and his wife, Lisa. So that is what this heart represents, his family and love for family. And then I'm just finishing with top coat, and that is the completed set. I hope y'all really loved this set. Please let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, I just wanted to do something special for Wes. I'm really going to miss him so much, and our visits to Dallas are never going to be the same again. Thanks for watching.